audience, raise your hand, we'll get you a microphone. Wes, we'll start with you.
Obviously, I guess you work with the quarterbacks as much as anyone. What's your sense of how much Joe's ready for this and how much different maybe he is than he was last year?
He's extremely ready. I think y'all have kind of seen with a lot of the work that he's put forward this year. He's played in games, a good bit of games, and he's come in. I think he's done a really good job every time. Obviously, it's probably a little bit different when you come out in the game. Most of the games he's been playing, and he's probably had the a pretty good lead and everything. But just the growth that I've seen from him this whole last year. Growing and learning under Hendo and Coach Heupel and Coach Halsley. I think everybody has a lot of faith in him.
We've asked the other guys this. So what was your reaction to him and Hooker going down in his season debut?
Really hurt my soul, honestly. You can kind of see me when the ball's getting, returned back. I probably took a step or two, but I didn't really, it kind of just like my mind just shifted towards Hendon when I saw him go down. And just kind of, seeing him in pain like that and just, knowing the circumstances, it hurt really bad.
What is team chemistry like right now, and what challenges have you guys kind of met in that area from last week?
I wouldn't say it was an issue. I don't think so. I don't think it was an issue last week. I don't think it's an issue this week. I think, they just came out and played better ball than us on that night, and it kind of showed in the score. But I can't say it's about team chemistry. I think it was them playing better than us.
You guys have worked hard to sort of build this culture over the past 2 years. Obviously, a lot of adversity this week with Hendon, with the loss, top four being out of the question now. How much does that culture have to sort of rise up this week to make sure that it doesn't compound in this next game?
Well, we got to make sure we come out and play better this week. But, I think a lot of stuff is still ahead of us. We've got a lot of good things going. It's been a long year, but I think it's been a pretty good year, in comparison to what we usually, have done recently. And, I think there's a lot of stuff to play for, and, we just got to rally together a little bit and, have a sense of pride about us.
Cooper Jabari Small was talking about how a lot of people have to step up, and I wonder, with the quarterback change, if you feel like the offensive line as a group has to step up and maybe play its best game.
I think we got to go into every game thinking like that it's got to be our best game. But, everybody else, everybody in the whole picture has to step up. We got to be better. And, I think anything that the offensive line can do to help Joe and make him feel more comfortable, we got to do that.
Wes?
Cooper, I don't know how much you watched Vanderbilt or haven't watched Vanderbilt throughout the year, but obviously they had more an SEC game in forever, and now they've won a couple in a row. Just beat Florida. I mean, what have you seen watching that team on film and how they've done this?
They play really hard. They believe they can win, and any week in the SEC is not a given week. So I mean, they're just going out there. They're playing what they're coached to do, and they're playing it hard. And it's come together for them these last 2 weeks.
Rick?
Cooper, what are you thankful for this holiday?
Family. Family is in friends. Family. My blood relatives, my little brother, big brother, mom, dad, everybody involved. I'm just thankful for, everybody around me.
Anything else, Cooper? Jimmy?
Cooper, is it hard to regroup at all after a loss like South Carolina?
I wouldn't say so. I think every week in the SEC, you got to look forward to the next game, whether you win or you lose. So it's just, a next game up mentality, and this is the next game on the schedule. So, we got to be better and just be looking forward to it.
Adam?
You guys are still the number one offense in the country, scoring in yards. Can you still play like the number one offense with Joe back there as opposed to Hendon?
I don't think there will be any change. We're going to go out there and we're going to play as hard as we can, and we got a great game plan in, and I think Joe will run with that. I think y'all have seen what Joe's done. I don't think we're going to play any different.
Wes? We'll finish with him.
For as much as you can take us behind the scenes anyway, just what sort of a personality does Joe have? It looks like he's always kind of bouncing around, always in pretty good spirits. What kind of personality is he in the locker room and on the field?
Yeah, he's very jovial. He's a guy that's always going to have a lot of juice, a lot of good energy, and he's grown a lot, I think, as a leader and developed a lot as a person. I think he's got a very consistent attitude, and it's he's got a lot of juice, and he's always going to he's always going to, have everybody's back in the locker room, always going to be the same person every day.
Vince?
Good, we've obviously seen the arm strength from Joe, and even Hendon has raved about Joe's arm strength, 60, 65-yard passes in the air. Has there been the most wow moment that you had with any throws or anything he's done, even on the practice field so far with you?
I don't know which throw it was. I think it was maybe versus Missouri, I think. One of the passes that he had, it seemed like he was like stepping back with pressure in his face and threw it like 65. It's pretty unreal, you don't see a lot of quarterbacks throw a 65 in the air like with a crow hop, into it like a baseball player, but he can just flick his wrist and it's going about 65, 70. So that's pretty unreal. He does that stuff like every day in warm up. So it's not really a surprise, but just seeing it every day you're just like, wow, that's unreal.
Thanks, Cooper.